with Slacked having so many frags, it's kind of wild. But want to see them prioritize their positioning here in map number 3, Ghosh.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And, you know, it's funny. We talked about the two different kind of play styles of the teams from yesterday that made it, right? You had Morpheus' squad play the most consistent game you've ever seen of Warzone, as consistent tournament, rather. Every single game counted. Every single game worked well for them. And then it was Shuck squad that basically made it to London off of one map. That was a 58-point banger. So I'm looking at Slack. I'm looking at Unrational's team in particular, like you shouted them out. Those are teams that could drop a massive game, and that game alone will get them there. They're within striking distance, of course, but they got to drop a big one. And speaking of a big one, Iceman Isaac has yet to not be contested off drop and has yet to drop a big map, and they certainly need it.
Contest can really throw your entire game off. That it's just not worth it. I know we're vying for kind of those strongholds. You can win it out, get that early game loadout because they're so expensive, but Reader able to find the angles, and Oakboy last alive for the squad, maybe trying to hit a little do-si-do, diving in and out of the doors, but now the chase is going to pursue. Can Oakboy get out of this? It's all open around this building, and that's rather unfortunate.
Man, Oakboy squad just can't quite get the chemistry down. Everything feels like a half second off. It's just a hair too slow. The combos maybe a hair too unclear, and might be able to sneak out of this one, getting shot in the back as he tries to leave. Staying alive here, certainly huge, but doesn't do that much to kind of stave off the bleeding, as both of your teammates are not only in the gulag, but one of them has lost their gulag. Good luck. Try to stabilize, get back into it. We've seen teams do more with less, so it's certainly possible.
Oh, and you can see right here, OP marked on your screen, taking on Unrational. Scummin had already fallen earlier, so it's going to be a little tough for them. This squad, Shaded Step, Devious. I've seen them drop nukes, and Shaded Step just laying down.
No
It
way.
is an all-out brawl, but OP marked able to win it out. If I am Scummin, Unrational, and co, I am not feeling good right now.
Man, that's tough, man. Especially coming off of a really rough last map at a solid map 1, a really tough map 2, to get full wiped off the rip by OP Mark's squad there, proned out in the smoke. I mean, it is what it is. You got to try to regain and move on, but that's one team that I get a bit worried about their mental. It was a total catastrophic breakdown there in stage 2, right after an incredible performance in stage 1 was coming Unrational and Huskerrs. Stage 2, it was catastrophic. I mean, they were almost down to the 30s, really had a tough tournament, kind of battled back towards the end, and it wasn't enough. So this is all mental. You have to mentally check back in and say, we can do this. We know we can do this. We are the best. I certainly believe in them. Hopefully they believe in themselves. We're going to tune it over to Chrissy's team. They were biding their time. It was a kind of a long, patient wait. I was able to talk over there, and then all of a sudden, Bubba Huff and co, they pushed the equation. Now it's just Clay alive.
This is really tough, right? They were already split. Clay was on their own, Gooey in the gulag, but looks like Blast, Emrius, Xenon over here fighting out with Grev. Blast does have the availability to grab that helicopter and utilize that. Emrius able to hit the self-res and come back to join up with Blast, but we just got to get a hold of Xenon. Now, Blast is likely playing that anchor role for Emrius and Xenon for them to kind of go in, frag, close the distance. Xenon taken to the roof. This might be a 1v3 push here.
Yeah, this team was also predicted to do really well. They're currently situated in 27th, the team we highlighted at the top of the show. That veteran Blast coming in and hopefully helping out the young guns, but not so far. Map number 3. We're almost halfway through this tournament already, Tiff, and
it's kind of crazy.
Team Clown and Munch are kind of in trouble here. Might be able to win this gunfight. No, wiped. One goes down, and it is one more standing. 1v1 with a couple people down and out. Beak's gonna push it and clean up one of the ones that was down. So now a true 1v1 with 2 players down and crawling. A nice little team fight here win if they can take out Munch, but Bink doesn't want to risk it. Gonna take the high ground first.
I like the high ground there. Bink won a good 1v1 against that push. You know, our challengers teams are freaking wild, so being able to win that is massive. Jumped on over here. Ty, Delsky, and Voltrace trying to put the works on Amira, and they're able to grab the knock on Amira, but does get traded out. Delsky Trying to keep the dream alive, not going to be enough. It's Don Lucky with the clutch. Living up to the name, but now has to go on the regain because you can see the third party is coming in and you do not have numbers advantage. So if you can get an audio cue onto Sailor, Kevy, and Maxides and Taj, that's what you need, but you might run face first into them. Yeah, this is a great third party. Taj, I think, was probably hoping that there was 2 left alive just for some extra kills because they win that 9 times out of 10, but a free kill is a free kill. You take those when you can get them. That was about as even of a team fight as I've seen in a while, right? It was 3 go down from one side, 2 go down from the other, and then the final third has like just a tiny little sliver of health left. Taking a look at this circle, probably the most central first circle we've seen in World Series of Warzone. Every piece of this map is available. Every single piece of this map is usable, and the team spread across the entirety of the map is pretty even. This could go anywhere at any time. Yeah, we'll just have to keep an eye on where that second zone starts to kind of rotate and pull towards. Meanwhile, let's check in at Observatory. You can see Hook in the distance. Illy has already actually fallen early on, so Mutex, Huskerrs, and Jesus Jr. This has kind of been their playground, right? Observatory, plenty of high tier loot, has the multiple buy stations to be able to get any kind of resources that you need to utilize, those durable gas masks, UAVs, anything that can provide you information and safety on rotations, especially for that late game. A lot of our teams have been running out of ammo late game. You heard Chrissy's teams in those comms saying, hey, we need AR, but Otter Eyes throwing down with the Lockman. Just after map 1, it had north of 100 eliminations. Ooh, Defera pudding. Solidify out of here. Prospect down as well. Nice shots here from Otter to help clean it up, and Signal 50 into the SMG. It works. A lot of times, Prospect able to get back up, finish it off. I thought Defera was going to be able to wipe one of the high-value target squads here. Highly aggressive squad with Otter Eyes, Prospect, and Solidify. On paper, could find a ton of eliminations, but maybe more of a, I don't know, risky team to wager on, just given the fact that they're inconsistent at times. All 3 so talented at the game, though. They do get the better of Defera's squad. Building right here. Heartbreaks have occurred here. Little Mario and Known Convict on the screen. Little Mario was originally slated to play with Chrissy. She had tweeted, I've been involved in my first roster mania. You kind of heard a little bit in the interview that we just had with her heading into this, but jumping back on board with Emrius and Co. But we're swinging back to the engagement. It's actually happening. Little Mario, can you clutch it up? Beautiful, Fallen, Z-Tank and trying to clutch up for the squad, but the numbers are not in the advantage. Unfortunately, just look a little lost there on the rooftop, not able to escape from Known Convict. A nice little fight there, playing with Triumphant. Overall, taking pretty much every piece of this POI to use. Now, Xenon squad was doing well, but it's Chronicle beating down Xenon in the water with a little bit of revenge story here from Riaz answering back. You were about to talk about the squad, and I was going to say the same thing likely. Riaz is on 6 here, Tiff. I mean, this is a fantastic start for a squad that I thought was maybe not living up to expectations. This could be the game they needed to get right back into the mix and make it to London. This squad 14, though, been in a blender since second 1 of this map, as some of our challengers players, some of our top tier challenger players getting the better of their opponents right now, playing together as a team, looking to multiply the success or limited success they've seen thus far in the first 2 maps. Gunzy, Cruz, got an opportunity. I mean, we're over by Hydro. You've got your top tier challengers players on the screen. They're familiar now, looking to take the engagements a little bit closer. No eliminations for Gunzy just yet. Gets a ton of information just by being poked and prodded at. Dark Zavid, Gunzy, Cruz. Really excited to see what this trio can do here. Not necessarily inside the top 10, but we're jumping into the second floor and gonna be a little quiet here. That's exactly how I felt in that fight. It was so close, and you almost want to just maintain the chow, but a fantastic backup by Gunzy means his teammate was able to come up, play the trades. They know how to play trades well. They know how to work together as a team. This team plays together in the Challengers League. They're very talented. They're pushing the equation, pushing the fight. They want this team wipe. Very well done from Team 16. The chase, yeah. Sometimes I don't have words because I wouldn't have survived that. The fact that you can get out with an inch of your life and turn that into an advantageous should have no issue cleaning up Team Clown right there. But as we see where that zone is starting to pull a lot of our teams, will likely have to go through marshlands for any set of regains. But for the teams that have already made it all the way north of Al Mazrah City, I think it'll pull down. But I like the water rotation coming in from Team Bonk, and that's where a lot of our teams were talking about water. If it's still in the zone, it's not a bad drop to kind of just hang out, get your loadout. And I don't remember who specifically we were talking to on the interview, but they were sitting in the water. It might have been Team Shucks, who said we just grabbed pistols and waited for teams to try and get their water loadouts and just kind of cleaned house there.
Yeah, Dangerous Deep Dive, always talking about weapons and metas. And I think one of the things, too, that we can add to it is just a lot of these teams, they have weapon, like water weapon loadouts. Like they say, okay, this is my loadout. If it lands in the water, I need to fight in the water. I need to have a pistol or a weapon like an FTAC Siege that I can use in the water. Like it's huge for being able to win those gunfights instead of having to pop up with the water, try to shoot down with your MP5 or otherwise. Lockman sub, like it's massive, especially late game. So if you got a portable buy, you got something to be able to utilize to get that loadout, or maybe it drops in the water for you. Grab it, utilize it in the water. You're gonna find a ton of eliminations.
Classic Pain, Zepti, Eno, trying to survive the gulag. Watch Waldo, Colony, Trey. They were trying to get that win in map number 2, but unfortunately did come second to Chrissy. Now looking to double down and find some more eliminations, break into the top 4, because mind you, if you just joined in, only 4 squads will advance from these 5 map series that we are witnessing on main before we move into that wild card map. But you don't want to leave things to the wild card, because anything can happen. Hey, the regain is here. Goes on Rational, Jace coming.
Wow.
All over here at pass, but a big team they're going up against.
Well, it's a team they have to take down. You know, it's tough to take down some of these top level teams, but if you're a squad that's kind of on the fringe right now, like your squad on Rational, you're in 11th, you want to take down a squad that's breathing down the necks of top 4, if not in it. Locksteel and Co was top 5. They were 5th overall going into this map. A little bit contested, and then Locksteel said, this fight isn't worth it. This is coming on Rational and Jace. I wouldn't take that fight if I were you either, but a nice regain. It's good to check in on that squad. We'll come back to them later when they're a little bit more of a precarious situation. Shaded Step going big against Future and finds one. Will they find the final player of Yeet? Oh, no, we missed him. Shaded, no. Shaded, no. Yeet grabs the knock. Nice trade, though. Should be no problem. Shaded Step squad grabs this nice little position here on the edge of zone. Gonna have to rotate in here shortly, though.
Gosh, hear me out. Imagine going for the most insane water rotation of your life just to get dropped on entry. But OP marked, they've got the third party coming in. Exify on the bridge ahead of them. Gonna jump down. Shaded not going to be able to survive that one. And now if I'm OP marked and Co, we've got to move a little bit. Good use of the smokes, and Exify is on the hunt, just trying to find an angle, breaking out the Cronin. We are going to be getting some shield cracks in, but they may be able to get out. But Asm jumps in the vehicle, closes the distance, allowing the time for Exify to rotate through the buildings. Honestly, this is going to be really, really tough for OP marked.
Yeah, this team made a big shift after getting 46th in the stage 2 finals. Swapped out Traverse for Slide, who did not compete in stage 1 or stage 2. So see if that pays off for them. Seemingly doing okay in this map. See Twitty, Sebas, Jade of Eyes. Able to rotate in pretty free and clear here on the outside of City. A couple people floating behind them potentially, but we got a nice little rotation here. Shouldn't be any issues. Got some fun music behind our scenes here as we take a look at Watch Waldo. And I was taking a look at where they were at going into this map. Yes, they got second last map, but Tiff, they were in like 18th or so. Like, we're not really in the equation currently. Reminder for everybody at home, I saw a couple people asking in chat, it's top 4, only top 4 that make it to London today in last chance qualifiers. So you need to be either flawless or drop an absolute metric bomb of a map. We saw a 58 pointer yesterday. That's the type of map I'm talking about when I'm talking about a bomb in order to make it to London, especially if you're creeping outside the top 20.
We talk about consistency, right? And this team on your screen, Nate Dogg, Tappa, they just have been snaking by, right? Currently sitting at the top of the leaderboard, going up against Gunzy, Dark, Savid. They already took down one member of the squad, now just have 2 more waiting. But Signal 50 through the window, they're just really maintaining that space just on the inside of circle. Likelihood is they're going to try to go ahead and gatekeep. Nate Dogg using the drone to go ahead and get to the high ground. I love when people utilize them just for small rotations or maybe to throw just a little bit of... Oh, Tappa going in. He wants to get a piece of them.
Yeah, it's a fun squad. I want to come back to that team in a moment and talk a little bit more about them. They did make a shift going into LCQs, and apparently it's paying off because they're the top of the leaderboard. Prospect, another team. Big shift. Solidify added into the mix here and swung around different teams. Solidify originally playing with Riaz and didn't find the success they thought they would after dominating in stage 2 open calls. Prospect is trying to find Hook. Can't quite get a read on him, and Otter actually just jumps off the mountain. Says, Prospect, you'll be fine. I'm playing zone.
Prospect on 4. Holding angles here. Just waiting for Hook to enter. This could be a big engagement. But I'm Hook. I don't even want to take that engagement. But Solidify, he's coming back in. Gonna grab a weapon. Could put him down.
Hook is just biding his time. Just waiting. Waldo's trying to hold this team. If they fly off the mountain, should fry them out of the air. Hook's found Otter. Otter found Hook. 3v1 though. Hook likely can't win this. He's gonna leave as well. Actually, a really smart rotation out. Not gonna try to take this gunfight. Gonna try to rotate out. We'll see if he's able to do so later. Here's a 3v3. We've got Mirai Squad, our Mexican team, playing against the return of the Booyah. Seen Booyah lighten up that kill feed several times. Big question mark is how many do they have though, Tiff? Looking okay on the scoreboard. Nothing to write home about, but an opportunity to go big here in map 3 and push their way up into the top 5.
I was really curious to see how IQ, Ryda, and Booyah are performing. We knew there'd be some little issues here at Marshlands, now on that kind of inner edge of the circle here. Does have a buy station, typically a good area for regains, but if you're going to be maintaining the high ground, it's really, really tough. And they could be looking to gatekeep, but they're going to have to get through that 3v3 first. But Pain, Eno, Zepti able to win their engagement and get the res off. Good reset for them. But Don, Lucky, Mirai, Regu, if I have that side of the building, I want the fight to come to me.
I agree. Booyah waiting for this team to make a mistake with that signal 50. I like it in his hands. Booyah has been grinding the content game, has a ton of great content on YouTube for Resurgence content and VR content, and a fantastic sniper, of course, but all around just a really solid player. Has been competing for who knows how long, all the way since the early days with Swagg and Nuke Squad, and it's great again to see him returning and putting up a pretty decent tournament thus far. I think they were in 11th or so, just outside the top 10. Talk about high ground battles though. Huskerrs is going to be winning it with the signal 50s. Mutex also with the signal 50, might I add. So they have at least 2 being played on this squad. With this ultimate high, they're able to just pick off kills left and right. These will add up, Tiff. I mean, you grab one here, one there, one there. 3, 4, 5 kills going into that in-game, this mid-game position. Fantastic stats to add to your spreadsheet, especially when it looks like they only have about 4 or 5 right now.
Ooh, Symphony swimming. Mutex has him in his sight. Good trigger discipline here. Now just trying to pick up some eliminations. They're in good positioning, just holding down that 4th spot by just 1 point though. Can't leave anything to chance with 29 squads up at 18. This is on par for what we've been seeing, typically around 30 squads at that 18-minute mark. But we've that circle closing. Still not bad positioning.
Yeah, and I like that spot a lot. I wonder if they have a munitions box though. They're running 2 snipers, which means they have less sniper ammo to go around. If they're just raining hellfire constantly from above, they might run out of ammo pretty quickly if they don't have a portable buy or a munitions box. So something to keep an eye out for. It looked like they were being a little bit sparse on their bullets. Like otherwise, they're taking shots at Symphony just to see if they can hit, 2 back-to-back on the rotation, maybe clean it up. You would love to see the squad up here have munitions box, have a PA to clean people up as well. I'm not sure they have the resources to hold this down for the entirety of this map, but maybe as we move into the 5th circle, they're still in zone, and Juju's taking the low ground position on the same spot.
Juju, we need a big performance here from the Team Diverge squad, or just pilfer up into some really interesting positions and catch people off guard. That's kind of fun to do too.
Couple teams here just biding their time, waiting. They feel comfortable with the amount of kills they have. They think more kills will come their way. Some of our other teams rotating in late, having to go farm edge, maybe making the wrong decisions early, or maybe they like to run. Desmond, Nico Infinite going big in the kill feed against Blast team. Squad 7's out of here. Blast is out of here. They had a great map start. You saw Rios at 6 like 5 minutes ago, Tiff, and now they're out at 27. They're going to hate to look back on that one.
Queen Shadow's team also down and out. Mirai's team still up in it. Glass and Pain, this is gonna be a big fight against Colony and Co. Trades are going out. Zepti full dead. Pain down. Eno, you gotta stand up for the team or at least play placement, but we knew just how well Colony was performing. They were making it to the late games, but not with a lot of eliminations, and just like that, able to just completely piece him, swarming in. Sometimes you just gotta stack the fights, bro.
Yeah, very well done from Watch Waldo's team. Again, they were about 18th going into this map, so they needed a big one, seemingly doing that right now. At this point, I think they've got enough eliminations. They need to make sure they get to top 10. So they're going to focus on and prioritize their rotation, getting into the circle. Now, with a ton of height, this is a weird zone, actually, Tiff, because we have a ton of height in this area, but not a lot of, like, overall cover to support 20-plus teams. So you're going to see a ton of teams fall rotating in. Now, a team that could be the Reapers on the edge. Unrational Squad in trouble, but potentially winning this gunfight. It's Little Mario, known convict, swimming away, running away. Looks like they've lost Jace. Just Unrational and Scummin swimming around, trying to either find Convict or stay alive. The stabilization after getting full wiped at the very beginning of this map, the composure, the mental fortitude to still be here is huge, but they need that multiplier, and they need it bad.
You hear the buyback coming in. Unrational was going to go for the res on Jace, but they're going to prioritize just hitting the buyback. Now, all three of them are up. Jace can kind of hover in the air and try to give them call-outs, but you can't give a call-out to someone that's completely taking you from off guard. Now, Scummin, you have to go big here. Able to clean up known convict. You get a little bit of payback for the teammate, but Little Mario, the ultimate flanker. Check behind you, Scummin. You need to make it happen.
Here's the footsteps, waiting on it. The third party from IQ, Booyah, was what took down Unrational. Scummin in a little bit of trouble here on the rotation. It's just a little too late. They had an okay map going. They might be wiped out of it. I don't know. They might be able to sneak in somewhere, but it's just going to be a solo ratting out for position. So frustrating, this rotation. This zone is so difficult, and it's a battle for ultimate high, and it looks like Jesus is winning it.
Ultimate height only has to move a little bit, but the issue with having to jump off of high ground is knowing that you run the risk of someone sniping you off from a separate rooftop. You can check the positioning. Jace able to make it in almost dead center. Not bad, but you don't have your teammates.
Yeah, and this is what I was worried about. Like, they don't have the resources for this. And look at that. Mutex has 1 extra plate. Jesus has, I think, 0 extra plates. He's getting knocked. Doesn't have a gas mask. If you had both had durable gas masks, you could sit up here and just farm as everyone rotates to this next circle. But instead, you got to jump off. You're probably going to get killed on the way. And look who's going big here on the edge. It's Desmond and Nico yet again. Last 2 alive for their team. Hanging out on edge of gas. Farming kills. I want to see what their kill tally is at some point because they're banging it out. And that's exactly right. Desmond's on 7. Banging out the edge of this circle. Trying to fight for position here.
I mean, absolutely massive. They were south of top 25 that second half of the lobby, but finally stepping into their form here in map number 3, doing everything that they need to do. We are down to your final 13 squads and that final ring closing in 15 minutes. The rotations are coming in. Clown making a full send, but Desmond, we're going to stay with them as they snake their way in. Little Mario, look, you're not going to survive here.
Not when you have a pinch from Desmond and Nico. Big take here. Another team down. They're into the top 10 situation. They have 12 eliminations. They've hit the metric, and they need more. They need a high average pull to help out their overall score. Booyah hanging out to try to make top 5, and UF's trying to get the better of them. And they say, no, not today. Another one down. Booyah still alive, going big on his return to Warzone competitive. Mutex hanging out in the gas for a moment, last alive. The super late rotation, yeah, not gonna pay off, but that's what you had to do. Still top 10. Likely we'll still see Mutex's squad top 5 overall, but they might just barely fall out of that top 4. All too elusive position to make London. Still got 2 more maps to go though here, Tiff. Willie Teed on top, not a lot of kills to boot. I'm still looking at Desmond and Nico to win it all here.
I love the rotation in from Cloud, but they're not going to get the pull, and now they have to rotate straight into Willie Teed as he completely unleashes into them. We do have Team Sebas underneath them as well, but just a couple eliminations. But this is just Willie Teed's first elim, right? So we're made it to the end game. You're expecting kills to come to you. You still have Booyah, who needs to rotate out of there. Not sure if he's down trying to hit a self-res. Maybe has a gas mask to keep that life up. But squad number 30, Team Desmond, they are putting themselves in prime positioning. Nico, we know just how incredibly talented they are. They're missing out on Crowder, which I'm sure a lot of you know who they are. But the duo's gonna have to stand up for the team.
This duo's been playing in every single stage. They won stage 1 quals. They've been battling over and over and over again. Stellar moves, tallying up a nice score tally here, but can they win it all? Booyah still last alive inside the building, and I think finally will fall as Fallnet falls as well. All of a sudden, Tiff, guess what? It's a 2v2, and we got a player way out in the gas here. Nico Infinite and Desmond have this in their hands if they play together. They're shooting bodies? Are we shooting bodies when there's one more still alive? That might have been a miscue. It's a 1v1. Stellar moves going big on 7, and now it's a 1v1 versus Desmond. Nico actually has the last remaining position in the circle. Stellar has been in this gas for so long and will fall. No, barely making it in. Nico takes the win, albeit it got real sketchy at the end.
I have no words. He needed one more second to get in there, but honestly, Nico was just biding their time, waiting to make that happen. I really do appreciate the smoke encompassing with the Cronin and the night vision scope on it. Really impressive try, but it's not going to be enough. But Goj, I was talking to Nico Infinite back when they were navigating the stages, and some of the issues that they were working on was comms. So let's run back that moment.
Come on. They're in trailer, crack.
Yep.
They're in trailer.
You guys got this. Under me.
Under you.
Yeah,
Top.
good. You have a medic vest? Oh.
Yeah, I would medic. Yeah.
Okay.
He's on my body right now. He's on the other side of that fence.
Coughing.
He doesn't have a gas mask then. You're good.
You the fucking
go!
baby, good shit!
Well done. Go, baby!
Good fucking shit. Let's go, bro.
Yes, sir, baby.
18 in a win. That's fucking huge.
36-point banger, a solid one. Will it jump them all the way to the top 4? Likely no, but it will put them in position to try for it. Tiff, that was a huge map from Nico and Desmond, and I will say, I'll back up a little bit. I don't think those shooting bodies were malintent. I think it was Desmond just making sure they got that kill. So a fantastic finish there from Nico Infinite.
I mean, let's just break down a little bit when they were playing that, utilizing the